On December 31st, 2006, the British Treasury made its final payment of $83 million to the United States. This payment was the last installment of a debt that began in 1946. Meaning this: Britain paid the price of World War II to America for a full 61 years. But no one tells you this part. This debt was not the cost of winning the war. It was the cost of staying in the war. In the 1940s, Britain was the most prosperous and wealthy country in the world, an empire on which the sun never set, ruling 1/4 of the globe. British companies had massive investments and ventures stretching from South America to Asia. The pound was the world's currency, like the dollar today. Its vaults were overflowing with gold, and yet in just 7 months that legendary empire was completely bankrupt once the war began. Why? Because America decided so. At the time, the U.S. claimed to follow a policy of neutrality, and with a law called cash and carry, it made its position clear. If you want weapons, aircraft, and ammunition, pay up front. Bring gold, bring dollars. If you don't, you get nothing. While Britain was fighting the Nazis, the U.S. had all British gold loaded onto warships and shipped to America. $7 billion worth of gold vanished in just 7 months. When the vaults were empty, Britain said, "We need help." And America's response? Not help. You will sell your assets, all of them. Liquidate the empire first, then we'll talk. U.S. Treasury Secretary Henry Morgenthau demanded a list of every British investment worldwide. I'm not exaggerating. Every single one, including shares in private companies. Then Britain was forced to sell one of its most important companies in America at half its real value. Billions of dollars worth of British assets suddenly became American property. Eventually, the cute story of Lend-Lease began. If your neighbor's house is on fire, you lend him a hose. In reality, America wasn't lending the hose. It was selling the hose at an outrageous price. And in return, it was taking an entire empire. The most critical clause was Article 7. Britain agreed to dismantle all the economic protections that held the empire together after the war. This was essentially the death sentence of the British Empire. 7 days after the war ended, the U.S. announced, "Lend-Lease is over." All ships were recalled to America. Britain had won the war, but its economy was destroyed. Can you really call that a victory? There was even the threat of mass hunger. They had no choice. Once again they turned to America. "Give us a grant. We fought for you," they said. America's answer was clear. No grants. Only interest-bearing loans, if you want. And the most important condition of that loan was that the pound be convertible into dollars. Once that happened, everyone holding pounds rushed to exchange them for dollars. The British economy collapsed within 5 weeks. This wasn't just an economic crisis. This was the end of the British Empire. The final payment of the debt was made in 2006. So what's the conclusion? America didn't buy Britain through war. It bought it through debt and crisis management. Not with soldiers, but with finance. It built a global empire. And the same system still operates today. The dollar as the reserve currency. Debt traps, military bases, economic dependency. All of it is a modernized version of the model first applied to Britain in 1940. Empires are no longer built with tanks. They are built with debt. And the biggest takeaway is this: America didn't really save Britain. It bought it.